You ever notice how confident people make everything look easy? They speak up, take risks, start before they know they'll succeed. Meanwhile, you're still waiting until you feel more ready, more certain, more confident. The frustrating part? Most of us think that's exactly how confidence works. First, confidence, then action, then results. So we keep treating confidence like something we need before we begin. Yet, when you look at people who actually became confident, that story starts falling apart. Everybody wants to be the shadow monarch. Everybody wants to be the champion. The version that already knows what they're doing. The version that already belongs. Nobody wants the version that came before, and it might be the reason so many people stay stuck. Think about Sung Jin-Woo. Think about Ippo. Neither of them looked confident in the beginning. They looked like people who were in over their heads. Yet, somehow they became unstoppable. If confidence wasn't what got them started, then what was? You think you know the answer. The system, the training, the plan. But what if that's not it? What if the thing that came before confidence is much smaller, much less impressive, and something many spend years trying to avoid? Because if you're still waiting to feel confident before you start, you might be waiting for the very thing that only shows up after you begin. Confidence was never supposed to come first. Most people don't say, "I'm scared." They say, "I need more time. I need to learn a little more. I need to get ready first." A week passes, then a month, then a year. The goal stays the same. The only thing changing is the excuse. That's what makes this trap so convincing. It sounds smart and reasonable. Your brain likes certainty, so it quietly turns confidence into a requirement. Psychologists sometimes call this intolerance of uncertainty, the tendency to delay action until the outcome feels predictable. The problem? Most meaningful goals are unpredictable by nature, which means waiting for certainty often means waiting forever. Nothing important comes with certainty, not at the beginning. Look at Ippo. Before his early fights, he wasn't walking around thinking, "I got this." He was nervous, unsure, sometimes terrified. The same thing happens with Jin-Woo. Early on, every dungeon felt bigger than him. Every challenge carried real risk. Neither of them waited until the fear disappeared. They moved while fear was still in the room. You see it everywhere. The person who wants to start a business keeps researching. The person who wants to get fit keeps planning. Preparation feels safer than action. Research has ruined more dreams than failure ever did, because research feels productive. Failure feels real. That's why people get stuck there. Ask yourself one question: if confidence wasn't required, what would I do today? Then do the smallest version of that thing. Not tomorrow, today. You aren't stuck because you lack confidence. You might be stuck because you've been treating confidence like permission. Most people often imagine that successful people start from a completely different place. They picture successful people starting with an advantage, more talent, more money, more support, better genetics, better timing, a better hand, something, anything. Because if they started exactly where you are, then your excuses become a lot harder to protect. Look at early Jin-Woo, the weakest hunter, getting injured, getting humiliated, barely surviving. Look at Ippo before the victories, before the titles, before people believed in him. Getting hit, making mistakes, questioning himself. Neither of them started strong. Neither of them started special. More importantly, neither of them stopped every time things got difficult. They kept moving. A little wiser after every setback. A little tougher after every mistake. A little more experienced after every bad day. That's what a lot of people miss. They imagine growth is one big breakthrough. Most growth looks more like stumbling forward. Nobody posts that part. Nobody uploads day 47 of being confused. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus made a simple distinction. Some things are up to you. Some aren't. Talent, luck, other people's opinions. None of those are fully yours to control. Your next action is. The people who eventually succeed aren't always the smartest or the most talented. They're often the ones who keep showing up after things stop going well. Think about something you've quit, paused, or fallen behind on. Ask, what did this teach me? Then find the smallest way to continue. Not restart, continue. The difference wasn't that they felt different. The difference was that they kept moving. People see what came with the movement and mistake it for what created the movement. The brain loves obvious answers. It makes success feel explainable, manageable, something you can copy. You see someone successful and immediately look for the formula, the routine, the morning schedule, the app, the notebook, the system, anything you can point to and say, that's why he made it. It's comforting because buying a planner is easier than doing the work written inside it. People often confuse the tool with the action. Behavioral psychologists have noticed a similar pattern. People often become attached to things surrounding a goal, the plan, the tracker, the preparation, because those things feel productive, even when no progress is actually happening. Some people spend years organizing a life they never actually live. A system can organize effort, it cannot replace effort. People look at Jin-Woo and see the system. They look at Ippo and see the training log, the schedule, the structure, the visible things. Yet thousands of people could be given the exact same system, the exact same training plan. Most still wouldn't become Jin-Woo. Most still wouldn't become Ippo. Systems are visible. The real work usually isn't. What you really need is boring. That's why people notice the wrong thing. You can download the same workout plan as an athlete, buy the same camera as a creator, use the same productivity app as a CEO. Nothing changes if the work never happens. The uncomfortable truth? The average person spends more time optimizing the system than using it. Look at the goal you've been considering lately. Ignore the plan for a moment. Ask, what is actually doing the work here? Not the preparation, not the setup, the thing underneath it. Most people aren't stuck because they lack a system. They're stuck because the system became a substitute for action. Which finally brings us back to the question we started with. If it wasn't confidence, if it wasn't the system, if it wasn't the training log, then what exactly did Jin-Woo and Ippo have before confidence? The answer isn't impressive. That's probably why so many people miss it. Nobody dreams about it. Nobody makes fan edits of it. Yet, it's the thing that changes everything. The answer is simple. The rep. One more quest, one more run, one more round, one more attempt, one more uncomfortable step forward. Many think confidence arrives first, then they start. So they spend years trying to feel different. Meanwhile, the people making progress are doing something much less exciting. They're taking another rep. Confidence is not what creates the rep. The rep creates the confidence. Psychologist Albert Bandura spent decades studying confidence. His conclusion was surprisingly simple. People build belief in themselves through mastery experiences, not thinking about the thing, doing the thing repeatedly until their brain has enough evidence to stop doubting. That's why confidence is always late. It shows up after you've done the thing enough times, not before. Jin-Woo didn't become the shadow monarch because he believed in himself one day. He kept clearing quests, one after another. Ippo didn't become confident because he finally felt ready. He kept training, one round, one run, one session at a time. Neither of them were transformed by a single moment. They were transformed by repetition. The first workout hurts. The 50th becomes routine. The first difficult conversation is terrifying. The 20th is just Tuesday. Confidence didn't appear before those moments. It was built inside them. Forget confidence for a day. Ask, what's the next rep? Then do that. The people you admire didn't have confidence before they started. They accumulated reps before confidence had a chance to catch up. And once you see that, the entire idea of waiting for confidence starts to fall apart. We admire the Shadow Monarch. We admire the champion, the finished version, the one that already knows what they're doing. Nobody wants the part that came before. The weak hunter, the nervous boxer, the awkward beginner. And yet, that's where confidence was built. Not through belief, not through waiting, not through the perfect system, just the accumulation of ordinary actions repeated long enough. The confidence you admire was never standing at the starting line. It was being built every step of the way, one ordinary rep at a time.